Hi, Nicole. How you doing? So I got your submission here, and I've got your layouts up now. This first layout, as you can see, I've got this in Acrobat, and I've got this set up as in my page display. I've got this set up as a two-page spread. So that means that the way that this is set is that it looks like you didn't design this as a spread in InDesign, but possibly maybe, in InDesign, but possibly maybe had designed it one page at a time. Now, if you design as a spread in InDesign, you can just export to a PDF and it will view as a spread. Typically, when you set up your InDesign, you're going to have an extra page. It's called a cover page. So you'll have the one page, then below it you'll have your spread, and then what you design on the spread, and then just trash that first page. Just delete the first page. You'll be left with the spread. Okay. Or the other option is if you want to use the cover, save it, but just when you export, just export pages 2 and 3. That will be the spread. Okay. So we're looking at, this would be the cover page. Unfortunately, it shows backwards, but the cover page, now you've got a black background on one side of the article and a white background on the other side of the article. So there's no real visual connection with the two. In other words, there's no drop cap over here. If there was a drop cap served identically over here, it would be an indication that these are related. However, there's not, so there's no indication that these are related. This planet right here is somewhat of an indication, but it's not close enough in its visual stature to resemble one of these planets, so it's just not doing it. So basically what I'm saying is you look like you have two different pages, two different magazine pages here. The title area, it's good. I mean, it's good. It's interesting. It draws attention. I'm not sure about this blue frame around it. I'm not real sure why that has to be there. And then you have your other information. Then you jump right into the article. My suggestion is always to start with a drop cap. It looks like you've got, and a drop cap, basically what a drop cap does is and I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about increasing the size of the first letter of each paragraph. That's not good typographic practice. You don't want to do that. You just want to, all you want to do is indicate a drop cap. Drop cap says to the viewer, hey, I start right here. This is where I want you to start reading me, right over here. And then that's the only purpose for a drop cap. So you don't use a drop cap on subsequent paragraphs. The reversed type on black, meaning white on black, you're using a serif typeface, and the kerning is very tight, so it's really difficult to read. Then you transition over here into a black background, which means over here you just can't read the text. This is really unusual, going from white to black text. I think that's really, really a difficult chore to ask the viewer to try to do, and that's, you're asking the viewer to do that 10, 12 times straight. I would suggest you don't. If you have to change the typographic color to accommodate an image, I would say reconsider the image or your typeset. Also, rags. Watch your rags. These are good. These rags are all good. Actually, your rags on this entire article are pretty good, except this paragraph right here. Pull quote looks good. That image behind it is kind of defeating the purpose. You can't really read it. Finally, my last suggestion here is that when you, with your type covers area, you want to use the cover area to draw attention to the magazine title. So you wouldn't start this type until align that type right there with that baseline. Okay. And speaking of baselines, none of yours are in alignment. So if you look up baseline alignment, it's really easy to do. Let me Command R this. Let me show you what I mean. See that baseline right there? See how nothing else aligns to it? Then if I draw, there's second baseline, second alignment, third baseline, third alignment, fourth baseline, 4 alignment. So you can see those 4 guides I have right there. Those are all indicating different baselines. So you really want those to end at the same baseline. Let's take a look at your other. This one's better. I think the biggest problem with this is okay. I'm fine with this going from 2 column to 3 column. I'm okay with that. I'm even okay with the larger type on the first page. But it's really important, again, alignment. Important. This wouldn't align with that. So this type would start down here. Your baselines are showing alignment on this first page, but not on the second page. Finally, my only other suggestion on the second page would be to indicate your new paragraphs either using an indent or a small space between. Because right now it's just unusual that if your reader won't be able to demarcate, won't be able to distinguish a new paragraph if you have a sentence that goes all the way to the end of the line, and that's going to make these paragraphs, let's say this line went all the way to the end of that line, it would make that paragraph seem too long and people would skip over it. Okay, so that's what I have. So there's your plans for moving forward. Okay, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to give me a call, and I can clarify anything that might not be specifically clear to you. Okay, thank you very much.